Okay, there's my shape. It's drawn up. This is the main body. I'm first going to extrude this part, which is 20 millimeter wide, and these two ribs on the side will be 10 millimeter wide. So I'm going to go E for extrude. I'm selecting my face there. I'm going double, and it should be 20. Now by clicking the plus sign, you're actually saying, okay, you're happy with the extrusion, you can go to the next one. You do not need to go to share sketch. So you click plus, it's done. So go select the next one. The next two is these two ribs, and I know the width of it is 10. Let's go double and say plus. That's okay, we're happy with it. Now we are ready to select the next extrusion. I'm selecting this part, but I want it to go the other way because it needs to fulfill the back side of 5 millimeters. There, it filled up the back part, and I'm clicking my plus sign. It's ready to receive the next instruction. This part needs to go forward by 50 as well as this part here. So I'm going to make that 50. Forward, and I can say OK. That's my final extrusion on that sketch. The next thing, I'm going to go to the side. Looking at it from the top, we can already say that shape is achieved. We only need 2 holes as well, and we need to actually incline that part. Going back home, going to the side. Let's go sketch. We can go sketch on the side. Sketch. And project the geometry so that we can latch onto this geometry when we draw. I'm looking for that corner there, and I'm looking for this corner there. So I'm going to click on this point there in the corner and come down, and I'm going to press E for extrude. Select my shape that I want to extrude, and I'm going to cut it to the other side and say OK. That's okay with me. I'm going to go look at the top and sketch on the top. I know there's a hole here. I'm going to go on the straight same line, and there's another hole. I'm going to equal these 2 holes. And now they are equal. The dimension for one of them is 12. And then both of them will become 12. Let's go look at the distances. We got 20 and 25 from the center. There is 20. Enter. This should be the same because we follow the same center line. Okay, it didn't, but we can put it in and just make sure. From the center point, or from there to the center, we can't find any center point, but we can of course get this distance right. The distance is 50. And we know that this distance here to there should be 15. And there both of them are in the position they need to be. E for extrude. And there we have our 2 holes. Give the bracket a color so that your parts can have different colors during assembly. Let's just call it lead. It's just a color. It's not actually lead. Okay, it's just a color. And I'm saving it Here's the main bracket. Open up a new file. Matrix standard millimeter IPT. And I'm going to go look at part number 2. Part number 2, we have a thickness of 5. We have a chamfer right around of 1.5 by 45 degrees and a diameter of 12 and 30. That should be for the 12. That should be for the 30. Let me just align these two holes, centers, and there it's aligned. And I'm going to put in my 30. I'm going to put in my 12, and I'm going to extrude it by 5 millimeters. There's my 5, and OK. Then I know we need a chamfer. Sorry, it's not a fillet, it's a chamfer. And the chamfer size is 1.5 by 45. So typing in 1.5. That's exactly what we're looking at. Apply. We're done with that. And I'm going to save it as that very same color. The name of this part is called a washer. Next one. Open up another one. Matrix standard millimeter IPT. Sketch on the XY or any other plane, but I love to use XY. And let's go look what's the third part. The third part is a bush. And the bush here is 10 millimeter wide, 4 millimeter at the bottom. And then we have 22 diameter. We've got 12 and 32. So let's try and do that. We've got 3 diameters. I just need to align one of these because my mouse is literally jumping around, it's shuddering. And there all of it is aligned. I know that the first one is 3, 2, enter. The second one is 22, if I'm not mistaken, enter. And the third one is 12. Here we go. I'm going to extrude first. E for extrude. I know that the whole bottom disc is 4 millimeters in width, and I'm going to click plus because I need to do another extrusion. That's like saying OK. I'm going to select the inner one. The inner one needs to go forward by 10. There's our 10, but we don't want a cut, we want a solid join. And I'm going to say OK. There we have our bush. I'm going to give it a color. Let's say gold. And save. Bush. In 90% of the time the bush will always go into the pulley or the roller. Save. Let's go look at part number 4. Part number 4 is just a pin of 12 by 70 with 2 holes 5 millimeters away and a chamfer of 45 by 1.5. So let's do the same. We got 70. There's no more extrusions. I'm going to say OK. I also know that on the side we have chamfers. which is 1.5 by 45. Let's make sure we're happy with that. Apply. We also need 2 holes. So in order to draw holes on a round surface, you need a plane. So go look for a plane that goes through the center. I'm going to use this one. Click on it and click sketch. I'm going to draw that plane. Project the geometry so that you'll be able to latch on and draw on the geometry. You can select lines or surfaces. Okay. These are lines that I'm selecting so that I can draw on them. Let's make sure that's the center. Go out to the side. Here's my first circle. I'm keeping to the center. That's a second circle. I'm going to equal them to one another because they need to be the same. I just need to go look at what's the size. It's a 2 millimeter diameter and the distance is 5 millimeters away. So I'm going to do this, and that should be 5. Enter. It should be 5. Enter. And then I know that these diameters should be 2 millimeters. I'm going to say E for extrude. I'm going to select these holes. It's the first one. Okay, it has been selected. I'm going to look at the other side as well. Double extrude, cut, and there's our holes. Let's give this pin a nice color. Let's say plastic. Okay. Save it. Let's see what it's called. It's called a spindle. Save. Open up a new one. Let's look at part number 5. Part number 5, we can see the dimensions. We've got a diameter of 22. On the inside, we've got a diameter there, from there to there, 22, 32 on the outside, 100, and then 94. There's 4 diameters. Because this thing is absolutely straight, we can actually just draw this part in double extrude. But in general cases with rollers or pulleys, you would go look at a center line, move a radius away till you meet the first line, and just follow the outline. You'll see as you follow the outline, you'll get the very shape that you need to draw to be able to revolve. So it's an I shape, and let's draw the I shape. First things first, what I normally do is equal every side. This side and that side need to be equal. Same there. Same here. Same there. And same here. Okay, that's done. Now for the dimensions. The top side is 26. The inner side is 20. So we've got 26 and 20. And then the neck that we see there, there's a certain thickness. Okay, and then the neck over here, it should have a thickness, but it's not shown. So basically that's 94 and that's 100. If that's 3 millimeters, I'm going to make the neck about 6 millimeters in width. That's 3 because it's 94 and 100. If you minus the 2, you get 6 divided by 2, you get 3. On the inside, we have 32 and 22 minus the 2, so you have 5. And now all we need is the radius of revolve, which should be 6 millimeters because the hole is 12. R for revolve. There's very small chamfers there, but it can be put in afterwards. There's my axis, and okay. Let's go back and get those chamfers. I'm going to make them all 1 millimeter. Sorry, these are fillets, not chamfers. 1 millimeter fillets. So we got one there in the center. We've got one here. Let's go further and see where we have them. Here's another one there. And there's another one. Okay. So all of them have been chamfered. Let's give it a color. Stainless steel. Save. This is called a roller. Okay, pulley more or less the same when you have a belt around it, but a roller is normally smooth like this on the outside. Okay, then there's 2 pins that you cannot see that needs to go through the spindle. Let's get those pins. The pin is 2 millimeter in diameter. I'm going to extrude it. I know that the diameter where it needs to go through is 12, but I'm going to make this pin say 15. And I'm going to give them a color. Let's see if we can get a black or something. Brass, bronze. Let's go for that yellow. And that right there, thank you very much, is how you draw all your parts for the second assignment. This is also not just a second assignment, it's also for those who want to learn CAD, Inventor, and it will help you to be able to improve your drawing ability. So now stay tuned for the next part, which will show you how to assemble all these parts together Thank you very much.